Hello, guys, and welcome back to the Cask Connoisseur, where, believe it or not, we're in the favourite time of the month, mild May.
And it could be a mild May,
I think
depending
it
on the
could,
weather.
depending on the weather,
But I don't think
indeed.
that's what you mean.
No, definitely not. So, just briefly to cut a long story short, me and Chris did actually start filming this and then realised that actually we forgot to press the record button. So we are now re-saying every single word that we have just said for the past 5-10 minutes. So that's a good outtake to do. Anyway, so
No one will ever see it.
no one will ever see it, thank God. So no, mild May. The reason behind mild May is to basically celebrate the importance of all the mild beers which are showcased from the top of the country in Scotland right the way down to the bottom near Land's End. And you know what? It's one of the most fantastic styles of beer which is currently out there.
You know when mild was invented?
No, far away, Chris.
Okay. So, mild because it's generally lower alcohol than most beers. So what was supposed to happen is you have these hard-working guys down the mine, steelworks, hot environment. On the way home, they'd pop into the pub. The beers would go down. So the mild with the lower alcohol helped rehydrate them better, stop them ending up crawling home. And that was the point. It was a lower alcohol drink, so you could drink more of it and replace that lost fluids from that rather. What's the right word in modern language? Oh no, we're talking sweat.
We're talking,
and people don't like you talking sweat these days. But anyway,
it's interesting you bring that up because the other significance of mild as well. A lot of people do get confused between a mild and a stout. So just so we can clear this up for all you guys that watch our videos. So a stout is basically effectively a jet black dark beer. So imagine just shining it up to a window. You can probably see nothing through the glass. That's a stout. And then a mild, which is probably slightly more, milder in colour. So it's not as dark. And then interestingly, to chuck into that, you've got porter as well, which again, a lot of people do get confused between a porter and a stout, or a porter and a mild, and so on and so on. So just to clear it up, a mild is a dark beer, but it's not a jet black stout beer. Moving on then. So basically, today we are trying this Badger Brewery beer, and it's called Red Rascal, and it's a cherry mild. And just before we talk any further, basically we get the breweries to send the beer out to us, the Cask Connoisseur, and we're completely honest in every single review that we do. You know, there's going to be a beer out there which we don't like. There's going to be a beer which we do like. There's probably going to be a whiskey that I don't like, that Chris likes. You know, who knows? But that's where we're going today. So we're going all the way right down to Dorset with this mild. And interestingly, a few things just to point out about Badger Brewery. First brewed 1777.
You know, look, where we're filming was built in 1768.
Oh, wow.
So we're 9 years older than Badger Brewery.
Crikey. That's amazing. That is amazing. Another key thing as well, 1777 is also the famous year of William Bass, when the first trademark for Bass was publicised. So
a big year.
Breweries. But we have been in touch, haven't we, with Badger Brewery, Chris? And I believe there's an event coming up sometime in June, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, they have a beer festival, for want of a better word, in June. 14th of June, which I believe is the day before Father's Day. And they expect to have around 50 beers to try from what we've seen, the information we've received, and they're hoping to have 1,500 people go through on the day.
Oh,
that's a lot of beer.
That is a lot of beer.
Anyway, the good news, or not the good news, but it's good news with the beer, but good news if you need anything more to make you feel good, all proceeds will go to charity. So that's even better.
Lovely idea.
We will be making the effort to get there.
Yes, absolutely. We definitely will. I mean, I've never been to Dorset myself, but yeah.
Lovely country. Thomas Hardy.
Yes, that's
Those
it.
of you my age will certainly remember Thomas Hardy. It was one of those texts you had to learn in English. Do they still do that, Luke?
No, but I think everything's all changed now, the curriculum and all that.
I used to love Thomas Hardy. Used to think he was really good. Mayor of Casterbridge was my favourite. Anyway, shall we get on?
Yeah, that's it. So that's time to open up this bad boy and see what happens. Which, let's face it, we have already had a little bit of this already, just because of our blooper. But here we are. So what have we got here then? So, wow.
That opening.
Are you picking up cherries?
I'm picking up cherries.
Definitely. I am picking up cherries instantly. Absolutely instantly.
Oh, wow.
Oh,
I could sniff that all day.
Yeah. Cherrylicious right there.
Cherry and chocolate.
Dark chocolate for me with cherry.
Yeah, I'd go dark chocolate. No, actually, I think I'd go milk chocolate. I was kind of thinking, is it Morello cherries you get in chocolate at Christmas or something like that? And they're not Morello cherries. These are proper cherries.
The colour on it is amazing.
Chocolate. I mean, it's lovely. Anyway, I'm going to continue sniffing. You describe the colour because you do that better than me.
So the colour, guys, so as I mentioned earlier, it's this very deep, dark amber mahogany colour. Again, so it's see-through. That's why it's mild. It's just, I tell you what,
this is like a good whiskey.
Yeah.
You can spend 5 or 10 minutes just
smelling it.
Just smelling it. That aroma and nose is absolutely beautiful.
I'm going to have to go in for a sip here, Chris.
I think I agree with you.
Oh, wow. Even more cherry and very sweet. Definitely very, very sweet.
Which is interesting because when we moved south of the border, the first English beer I actually enjoyed without a grimace was Badger.
Yeah.
And one reason that there's a difference between the two beers is Scottish beer tends to be more sweet.
Yeah.
So this could be classed as a Scottish beer if I was being honest. But that is beautiful. Cherry, chocolate, coffee, and the finish. I mean, there's a finish to this beer that is really there.
The finish is really there, and I mean, Chris is picking up the coffee, which I'm slowly picking up. But the big thing that I'm picking up is, so do you ever remember those old sweet shops and you've got the rhubarb custard sweets? I'm just getting that on the complete utter finish. And I tell you what else I'm going to get as well. And Chris will probably, I don't know if he'll agree with me on this, but it's just making me of the family holidays that we've had together. The strawberry pencils and laces, that texture, that texture of the, of the sweet and all that, just going through your palate right now is amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's got to be 30 seconds or so since we took a sip on this, and that finish. Now you mentioned rhubarb and custard. It's not eating the sweet; it's that flavours in your mouth after you've finished. That is superb.
That is absolutely amazing.
I mean, on average, I'd say we probably like most beers.
We do, yeah.
To be fair, we rarely go.
Not too sure.
Not too sure. But there's not a lot where you go, wow. And I mean, again, this is out of a bottle.
This is out, yeah.
What would it be like if it was on draft? This really, I've got to admit, I'd almost go, this could be an ideal beer for me.
Yeah, that's amazing. And also, particularly, you were mentioning about on draft. I can actually see this. I'll be intrigued to see what this actually tastes like if it was a keg ale, so it's actually crafted. Because you get a lot of these craft ales which have got like sour beers and all that, ring roll. But interestingly, and also, guys, just so you know, this is actually a new beer. So this was actually just brought out this year. It's a new release. Wow. That's why we were so lucky to get our hands on it. So again, special thanks to Badger Brewery for obviously sending some beer out to us so we can review it for you. But yeah, let's have a look through the bottle and let's see what we can get out of this, because I'm thinking this is going to go down so well. So I'm just going to read you the brief description here. So, Red Rascal. Sneaking through the fading light and growing shadows, a flash of red is all that might give this rascal away as he pilfers ripe red cherries from the orchard. Forever on the quest for new flavours, this cunning hunter always knows where to find the juiciest morsels. So it's roasted malt which is used to brew both stouts, porters. So it's your dark malt. And rich caramel notes, which we didn't pick up, but, you know, hit and miss, depends.
I suppose caramel, cherry, chocolate, there's a caramel somewhere in between the combination.
Absolutely. With balanced bitterness for a satisfying mouthfeel. Now, that's what I mean by the mouthfeel, about picking up this rhubarb custard, the old sweet, you know, boiled sweets that you used to get in the big jars. That forms the perfect backdrop for juicy, fresh cherry notes. It's complex and bold, just like the enigmatic fox himself. I feel like a fox right now, honestly.
To be fair, rather marketing.
Yeah.
But you know what? Accurate notes.
Very much.
Wow. I'm lost for superlatives for this. I mean, sometimes when you drink something, it's just the right time or the right company or whatever. But this, wow. I mean, I could go out to the shops right now and buy a few bottles of this straight away.
Absolutely. And guess what, guys? It's not even strong. It's 4% ABV.
Which is another point. Just put it out there. So I started drinking back in the 70s, 50 years ago. And 4% back then was considered strong. And the other thing to put out with 4%, it might not be 4%.
Yeah.
Because actually the way that beer is taxed, they have bands of percentages. So sometimes it falls into a band and it might not quite reach that level that's written. So it could be slightly lower than that.
Yeah.
I mean, to be honest, I'm surprised it's 4%.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be more like a 4.5, maybe a 4.6.
That flavour, robustness, complexity. Generally speaking, I'd expect a higher alcohol.
This completely ticks my palate. So basically, guys, you know, I just want to say, if you want to try a mild May beer, Red Rascal from Badger Brewery is the way to go, because that is absolutely fantastic.
And even if you've had milds that you don't like before, that is absolutely brilliant.
Yeah.
Can't recommend it enough. I don't know why. Just because we haven't had any beer for weeks.
Probably that's why. But I thought we had to go in high with a mild, and it is May after all at the end of the day. So
perfect for mild May.
Definitely.
And indeed, if you think about it, cherries, even in this country, will be ripening by the end of May. So
that's it.
Perfect.
So let's try a real cherry. If we get some real cherries one day, I'd love to try a real cherry with this beer and see what the ending would be.
Nice.
That would be nice. But yeah, guys, we really appreciate you obviously supporting us through our channel, the Cask Connoisseur. We can't wait to bring out some more videos for you soon. You know, we've got loads more coming up. We've got a very special video coming up very soon on a beer which is brewed with bread, which is going to be interesting. Please just keep a lookout and all that, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Give us a like, give us a thumbs up, give us a comment, and as I say, we'll be back very soon with more videos soon. So on that note, guys, cheers, good health.
Cheers all, good health.